And election fervor grips India. And for more details on this, we've been joined by DD India correspondent Anil Thomas on the phone line. Anil, when it comes to general elections in India, it's not just about the electoral process, it's a festival. What are the key expectations, Anil, surrounding the Election Commission's announcement of the schedule for India's general elections?
Well, good afternoon, Siddharth. Well, that's what we all are waiting for. In less than an hour, we'll come to know exactly when you and I would cast our ballots, especially in this dance for democracy that India has when it comes to the general election that's going to be held. If you could purely look at it from the last two elections that we have seen in 2014 and 19, on an election perspective, we had seen the election dates being announced much earlier on the 5th and the 10th of April in the last two elections. But this time around, we are almost reaching 16th, and the election phase generally starts from between 7th and 11th of April and ends between 11th and 19th of May. So on a very similar pattern is what we could see this time also elections being played out. The only difference that people would be looking out for how many phases is this particular election going to be. The 2019 election had 7 phases and 3 states voting across those 7 phases. That was UP, West Bengal, and Bihar. And this time around too, very much you would see a similar pattern that you see in these 3 states where there is a very likelihood that almost all the phases, these elections will be held in the 3 states. Along with that, there are 3 states from the east of India, that's Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim and Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh that has state assembly elections that are going to take place. So we are very likely to see the announcement of both these dates come together, and that's going to be a wait and watch for everybody, because this is where the election dates are announced. This is where the biggest elections of the world take place, and it's a mammoth task to put this together, especially for the Election Commission. And everyone looks forward to this particular date when the announcements are made, and it will be an experience for many first-time voters. There are close to 18 million first-time voters who are going to cast their votes.
Yeah.
Many people who are going to get an opportunity. There are almost a 6% jump when it comes to the voters that you see. The number of voters, close to 968 million voters that are going to cast their votes. So it's surely a wait and watch for everybody as the dates are going to be announced in a short while from now. But one that will be keenly watched not only in India but also across the world. Remember, 2024 is
Definitely
the year of elections across the globe.
A mammoth task, like you've said, for Election Commission of India. Anil, now, could you provide insights into the significance of the general elections in India as the country's biggest festival of democracy? I mean, the world is taking cue from India.
Well, exactly. When one takes a look at this particular Lok Sabha elections, purely in terms of numbers, as I mentioned, 968.8 million voters. That's if you see on an election basis, that's a jump of 6%. 2019 had close to 900 million voters. And when one goes into the classifications, there are close to 18.4 million voters in the 18 to 19 age group. People are going to cast their vote for the first time. Also new electorates, new people who have got themselves voting cards, who are all ready to vote. The number is almost hitting 26.3 million. The third gender that got inclusivity in this particular election. In the previous elections too, this time the number is swelling. We have close to 48,044 voters there in that list.
All right.
The amount of paramilitary forces that will be put into play, in seeing to it that it's a safe and secure election, will be worth watching out for. But purely, I can say, it's going to be the next few minutes, I would say, roughly around 3 o'clock, that's when the announcement takes place. And that could be an interesting wait and watch to know when you and I can get a chance to cast our votes there on the EVM machine.
Definitely, Anil. Certainly, there's a sense of excitement in the air as the Election Commission of India will soon announce the dates for polls in India. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there.